I want to challenge you to take just a second and think about the first time you ever bought something online. If you're a little bit older, it might have been buying something off eBay, or perhaps your first experience with Amazon. And what were some of your concerns, your reservations? Is the item actually going to show up? I just shared my credit card information. Are they going to take extra money out of my account? Is the item going to be the same as what I thought it was going to be when it shows up? Now I want you to think today, how many items do you buy online, and do you have those same reservations and concerns? The reality is, once you have set the precedent and start interacting with a digital retailing type tool and get comfortable with it, you're going to use it more and more. And I believe with Wyler Direct and what we've seen this spring, this has been amplified tenfold. The precedent has been set for automotive digital retailing, and COVID did force a lot of people's hands on that. But what's going to follow after this is greater adoption in the future. However, I want you to think of something else. Considering of everything that happened this spring, do you think there's a good possibility that something like this happens again in the future? Perhaps a second wave where they force us to close showrooms again? The reality to me is that answer is yes. And it is important that we be best prepared. While we were much better prepared than our competition in the Midwest for this in the spring, I can assure you we still have a tremendous way to go and improve. Now, I have good news. We have new messaging coming with Wyler Direct to differentiate ourselves further from our competition. We're going to be adding a simpler pre-approval process to the Wyler Direct experience. We're also working to add a new button in VIN Solutions to more simply record home deliveries to make it easier to track those. And finally, we are going to continue working on how we complete home deliveries. CISA will be creating a separate module showing best practices on how to do this. But let me close with this. Many of you are familiar with the term ABC, always be closing. I love when I go down to Mercedes-Benz Fort Mitchell, Don Paparella has a different version of ABC. And his version is always be changing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you lead. And that is part of the Wyler culture. It's important to understand that we are far from perfect. And we need you because we're always looking for ways to improve, to include what we're doing with Wyler Direct. With that, I want to congratulate each one of you and thank each one of you for all of your hard work, for your motivation and your enthusiasm and your flexibility as we worked through this spring and took Wyler Direct to an all-new level, and I'm looking forward to what we can do with it in the future.